On this week's Wine Walk, we have a man who doesn't need any introduction whatsoever in your home state of California, Reggie Bush.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I've always been a fan of Barstool, so it's good to be on the show finally.
We do things a little differently.
I know. I've seen.
which I say is a good thing. So we're back in California, and we're talking about throwing it back and going back. I know that you in high school were like the best running back in the country, and then you went to college and you were the best running back in the country. At one point, did you have somebody that you had like on standby to just keep you in check? Because it would be tough to not get at least a little bit of it, especially when you're that young. Like as you get older, you can, you learn more about yourself. But when you're young and you are Reggie Bush.
Well, you know what? I was always a very humble, quiet kid. And it was funny because I remember my first interview I ever did in high school. I don't even think I could put together a complete sentence because I was so nervous. And so I've always been naturally like this quiet kid to myself. With the accomplishments that came, I never lost sight of who I was. I always stayed true to myself. I think a lot of that comes from my parents, the way they raised me. But I definitely enjoyed, obviously accomplishing everything that I did because I know I worked for it, right? I worked my butt off for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and be really upfront with you and tell you that I have a bone to pick because I went to the University of Texas and I was
you guys
there.
beat us. Well, you got a bone to pick.
Oh, we beat you. We beat you. But what I want to know is, I think you made a mistake. I think you made a mistake. You shouldn't have handed the trophy back to the Heisman Trust. What you should have done is put that shit in the mail and mailed it to Vince Young because my guy deserved the Heisman Trophy after that.
Well, listen, Vince Young is my boy. I've always had high respects for Vince. We go way back, to college. He did his thing in that game, man. He was a force to be reckoned with. We could not tackle him. He won the game for him. Without Vince Young, I don't know. That game to me is one of the greatest games ever played.
Oh, I think I'm with you. I think it's probably the best
at the national championship level. When I look back on that game, I appreciated just being a part of it. For so long, it took me a while to get over it, but now, it was just a really cool opportunity to be in that game and knowing that I was on this field with men, with great players, with great athletes, and it'll never be forgotten.
But if the ball would have been given to you instead of Lindell White, would you guys have won the game?
No, I can't say that because Lindell was a beast.
He was on fire in that game for sure.
And so I would never go back and question a decision. Listen, we lost the game fair and square, you know what I mean? And this is what, 20-something years ago. And Lindell's my brother, to this day. I still have his back, just like I did when I was on that football field. I've been able to build this brotherhood with a lot of people. When we won a Super Bowl in New Orleans, same thing. A lot of those guys that I played with are still some of my best friends to this day. Pierre Thomas Lansmore, Marcus Colston, we won a Super Bowl championship title together. Our coach used to always say, we will walk together forever because of what we accomplished on the football field, and it's true to this day.
How much of that do you think had to do with the fact that all of you were in it together with Katrina and with helping, just with relief work around the city of New Orleans? Yeah,
a lot of that was part of it, because we took the, we took the responsibility of going out to win football games for the city of New Orleans, for the people. The foundation that we support for my charity weekend, they support homeless kids. So for me, being able to help people at its core is the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, what you guys are doing is actually kind of amazing, and I want you to talk about it because people don't often think about, they think about like children eating food and eating water and eating like the very bare necessities, but there's so many little things that happen that people forget, and birthday parties and birthday celebrations, the act of celebrating their life is certainly one of those things.
It is, and it's really cool when you see a kid's face light up from birthday candles. It's very rewarding, to be able to put a smile on a kid's face who doesn't have much, who maybe has nothing, who maybe has never experienced a birthday, who maybe has never experienced getting gifts, who maybe have never experienced being celebrated, which kids should be. They should be celebrated because they are the future. The Birthday Party Project, which is the foundation that we support, they throw birthday parties for homeless kids. They get food donated, they get toys donated, they got music, they're bringing a team of people, and you see these birthdays, these kids' faces light up, and it's just a rewarding feeling. My mother was also in the foster care. She grew up in foster care. My aunt my uncles, they all grew up in foster care. So for me, I know a lot about that foster care because, you know, it's part of my family's background. You know, my grandmother, who I knew as my grandmother, was the one that adopted my mom. I never really knew my biological grandmother. I met her maybe once or twice, and then she passed away later on, you know, from a drug overdose. And so for me, that resonates with me. Helping kids who have nothing resonates with me.
I mean, I feel like you have evolved and grown so much since I hated you profusely for my college days because I had to. I mean, like, that's just, that runs.
We played one time. How can you hate somebody that you played one time?
Well, with the Heisman situation.
That's like me hating you. That's like me hating you right now. We never even met. What about the Heisman situation?
What do you mean? Because I wanted Vince Young to win and he did not win.
Okay,
So that there was.
I'm sorry.
That's how you build the natural.
They got some tissue over there. You want some? We can go get some tissue.
Yeah, I would. I would love some tissue. I would love some tissue.
Help you out with that.
Just clean up my tears here really quickly. You know. But that was one of the greatest days of my life. And since then, I mean, like, nothing's really happened for Texas. So sometimes you peak early on, and then you just start a downward spiral of shit.
I have nothing to claim
Beat
about.
USC last year. Did that too.
There you go.
You still have so much pride for USC. I mean, you would have to, right?
Of course I do. Of course I do. It's in my blood. You know, most people don't understand. You know, maybe, you know, people who watch football from the outside looking in, like yourself, don't understand that, you know, what we build on that football field is maybe very closely to when you see people who serve in the military go to battle, right? I'm not saying it's the same landscape because it's completely different, right?
But you are going to battle.
One is serving your country, serving, you know, the people, and laying your life on the line. But in the football, we are laying our bodies on the line for our brothers.
Reggie Bush, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I apologize for saying that I hated you during the Heisman issue. I mean, you know.
Okay, you know, everybody's a hater. You know what I mean? Like, we got haters all around this world, you know, and
That's
so,
true.
you know, somebody got to do it. It's a tough job.
It is a tough job. I appreciate the acknowledgement. Cheers.
Cheers.